The decline of Gupta Empire marked the end of another age of political unity. Now dozens of regional kingdoms emerged across Indian subcontinent. Gurjar Pratihars in west, Palas in the east, Rashtrakuts in Deccan, and Cholas in the south, along many other regional kingdoms. Now, the map of India had become politically fragmented again. But one question remains the same. Every ruler, whether emperor or a local king, still had to govern. Armies had to be maintained, officials had to be paid, roads, irrigation works, and local administration still required resources. In short, kingdoms still needed revenue. At first glance, nothing had changed. These kingdoms inherited the taxation system of earlier centuries. They were still capable of collecting taxes through their own officials, and in many places they continue to do so. But why do historians consider this period a turning point in Indian taxation? Well, the answer is that the question is no longer about whether taxes would be collected. The real question had become who should collect them. A king collect कर सकता है taxes through a large bureaucracy, but this doesn't come so easily. Now, this means maintaining officials, paying salaries from royal treasure, supervising distant provinces, and constantly securing the loyalty of powerful local elites. Or he could solve all these problems with one single decision: grant the land. बजाय पहले खुद रेवेन्यू कलेक्ट करके सैलरीज देने के, राजाओं ने खुद से ही रेवेन्यू कलेक्ट करने का राइट दूसरों को दे दिया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अ लोकल कमांडर, a trusted administrator, a Brahman, a temple, or a local chief. Each could receive land whose revenue became their income. The land itself became the reward, and the taxes became the salary. Now, just one policy served many purposes. It rewarded service, reduced immediate pressure on royal treasury, integrated newly acquired territories, and strengthened alliances with local elites, and also earned religious merit through charitable donations. Now, that's why land grants expanded across early medieval India. एक लैंड ग्रांट तुम्हें सिर्फ राजा से मिला हुआ एक जमीन का टुकड़ा नहीं है. इट वॉज अ ट्रांसफर ऑफ इकोनॉमिक, फिजिकल एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव राइट्स. कुछ ग्रांट्स रिलीजियस होती थी, जैसे ब्रह्मदया. दीज ग्रांट्स वर मेड टू ब्राह्मण. और देवदान, जो कि टेम्पल्स और रिलीजियस इंस्टीट्यूशंस को दी जाती थी. और अग्रहार, जो कि ब्राह्मण्स को दूसरी जगह रिसेटलमेंट के लिए मिलता था. ना ये लैंड ग्रांट्स इस बिलीफ पे दी जाती थी कि इनसे उनके बदले उन्हें रिलीजियस मेरिट या कहें पुण्य मिलेगा. बट मैनी ग्रांट्स वर सेक्युलर एज वेल, which means without any religious purpose. Like, king rewarded military commanders, royal officials, members of royal family, and influential local chiefs, with land grants in return for service and loyalty. Now जो land grants थी, they became an instrument for both religion and governance. Now in land grants की actual importance उनके साथ मिलने वाली rights और authority की थी. Now the recipient often received the right to collect taxes from its subjects, and many enjoyed exemptions over royal taxes for the king. और कईयों को judicial और administration powers भी मिली, जैसे law and order को maintain करना, disputes को settle करना, and punishing offenders within their territories. Now all this means that king have not merely transferred the land. Instead, he have transferred a part of state's authority. Between the ruler and taxpayer stood an intermediary, and that changed everything. As land grants expanded, Indian society gradually transformed. Land became the greatest source of wealth and influence. Now a new class of landlords emerged, many living from the revenue produced by peasants rather than cultivating land themselves. Now, agriculture spread in previously uncultivated regions. Temple estates expanded, village communities became increasingly important in local administration and economic life. You know, power was becoming local. कई students in changes को describe करते हैं as a reflection of growing feudal futures. Whatever label we choose, one fact is undeniable. Control over land increasingly meant control over people, resources, and revenue. So tax system खुद से कुछ गायब नहीं हुआ. कई पुराने टैक्सेस अब भी चल रहे हैं, जैसे भोग, भाग, कर, रिश्ते, etc. remained important in many regions. However, political fragmentation produced greater regional diversity. Different kingdoms introduced additional taxes suited to their own agricultural, commercial, and administration needs. Instead of one broadly centralized fiscal system, India now contained regional revenue systems operating side by side. So ये जो taxes थे आमतौर पर एक जैसे होते थे, but the people collecting them were increasingly different. Now concluding all that, during early medieval India, a major transformation happened. Land became foundation of administration and taxation. That was no longer a relationship between a king or peasants. Instead, it had become a relationship shaped by landlords. So many landlords across whole Indian subcontinent is how the age of intermediaries had arrived.